do it. It's nippy. It's about 47 degrees in Texas, which is cold for us. Yeah. Had some neighbors from Michigan. I was barbecuing a nice big juicy burger one night on the Weber Spirit Grill. And then she comes up and she's like, "Oh, the burgers in Michigan are way better than in Texas." Yeah. Don't you hate these people that move to Texas and they're always like, Mexican food is better in California. It's like, well, why don't you go back to fucking California? If shit's better in Michigan, why don't you take your ass back to Michigan? Oh, well, that's not going to happen, is it? No. So, there's no state income tax in Texas, so they're not leaving. They're just bullshitting, dreaming, fantasizing, wishing, hoping. Yeah. Wishing and hoping. They wish other states were better than Texas. They wish that. They wish, I don't know, Honduras was better than Texas somehow. I guess there's illegal invaders and then there's legal invaders. So there's all sorts of invaders that invade Texas, but, there's illegal ones and there's legal ones. But at least normally the Guatemalans or the Mexicans or the Hondurans or whatever usually cannot communicate in English that their home nation is better than Texas. At least we don't have to go through that atrocity. But people in neighboring failed liberal Democrat states, well, they can voice their stupid comments in English, in crystal clear English. Unfortunately. Right? Now, when some Californian says that Pappasitos is not that good, I'm like, big up yours. Pappasitos is... I'm not saying Pappasitos is... I'm not saying that Pappasitos is flawless. I can't say that Pappasitos Tex-Mex, legendary Tex-Mex, is the best the best Mexican food ever. Okay. I will say that it is quite excellent, however, or Texcellent. We're gonna make some excellent Texcellent eggs right now. Yeah. On a cold day, the dog has a leg problem, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get doggy aspirin, and then I'm gonna give a special treat to the dog besides the usual banana. In fact, I think we'll address the banana right now. So I guess it's like you're making pizza in Texas, and then someone from New York moves into Texas, and they're like, New York pizza is better than Texas pizza. Thanks, jackass. I'm so glad you moved here. It's not so bad in Houston. You're used to this jackassery all the time. You just get numb to the jackassery at some point. It's like, all these out-of-state jackasses. Pure jackassery. But you know where it really hurt, though? I think it really hurt in the unique culture of Austin, Texas. I think that's what really hurt. I think those people, the native Texans and Austinites, were the most upset that these Californians invaded their once great city. They did lose something. In Houston, it was always a swampy, overcrowded cesspool of swamp and misery. But Austin used to be like this beautiful liberal enclave, and all the influx of not just the illegals ruined it, but the Californians ruined it, didn't they? So now it's just turning into just another cesspool hellhole, and one day it'll be likely indistinguishable from any other major metropolitan area in Texas: Austin, Dallas, Houston. It won't have that original character that it once had, right? No, that'll be gone. It'll just be a neon sewage wasteland like the rest of it. Banana nana. Happy Halloween. Okay, I think those eggs are done. So the Californians are like, our Mexican food is superior to Texas food. I'm like, oh, well, my dick's bigger than this, but I'm like, duh, thanks. All right, I'm not gonna eat all those eggs myself. I gotta share, but I gotta let it cool off for Bella here. How's the jihad going? Is it going good? Did the jihad win? Oh. Did the terrorists win? Did Islamic fundamentalist jihad, are they doing well? Did they succeed in their goals of eradicating Western civilization? Probably not, but how much time we got? Do we got 3,000 years to fight a forever war? I don't fucking think so. So it seems to me one side has to go and the other side has to go. So I'm pretty sure that Western civilization is going to choose that the terrorists have to go away sooner rather than later, because we don't have that much time, since the average lifespan of a human being is only 79.3 years. We want world peace. I see they interrupted Anthony Blinken's speech, the pro-Hamas, the pro-terrorist people, I guess. Pro terrorism. Well, I mean, I get the peace protest kids, but the pro terrorism ones not on board with that. So the kingdom of Judah, Israel, has a problem, and this problem is terrorist organizations. So they're going to go exterminate them. Like, if you had somebody invade your house, you would at least try to kill them or cripple them. If you had a disease, you would try to get medicine. If you have a infestation in your house of termites, you would just try to eradicate them. You get rid of them just like any other malady. So the Israelis are going to root out, they will root out Hamas like poison from a wound, or like cockroaches from a house. That was a pretty raver from Portland, Oregon, wasn't it? That they chopped off her head. Cute little youngling raver. Well, I'm glad they didn't show that on TV. The beheading process. Kind of gruesome, don't you think? A bit on the gruesome side. For those without a head, I would say, where you beheading? Where you beheading? Good one. Classic. All right. So what's the best kind of receptacle to give the dog eggs? Let me see. Or should we throw a little hash browns in here? What do you think? I think it's, add a little hash browns, add a little flavor. I'm not going to do any Jimmy Deaners today. Yeah, let's add a little hash browns here. We'll have the Jimmy Dean sausage biscuit when, we'll just throw a little bit in there. Yeah, all right. Get it sizzly. I've been looking at the Flintstone costume with some suspicion. Now, I've been looking at the Fred Flintstone costume, but when I see the guy's crazy face, and he's like, I'm like, yes, I got to do it, I got to be Fred Flintstone this Halloween. It's got to happen now, because I've been talking about it for like 5 days or some shit. I've been ideating. I've been doing ideation upon it. Reflection. So I started to chill some glasses in the freezer. I like the new refrigerators as opposed to the ice boxes of the past. Because they got all these push buttons on them. They got all this. It's like Star Trek, except I don't say refrigerator. Make me a glass of tea. Now it's not like it can materialize matter like in Star Trek. So it's not. But it has like it does have that futuristic, pushing the electronic buttons. It does have that kind of thing going for it. So it has the as they would say in deeper vocabulary, it has the aesthetic, right? So, oh, you know, the hash browns are fine with some butter and some salt. Well, I don't put a lot of salt because I figure everything's sodium bombed anyway. So, pepper. Now that's what I need. Okay, I need that spice. Put a little. Oh, there we go. Great. Put some freeze-dried chives on there. Yeah, chive it up, chive on. Stay calm and chive on. Like the t-shirts say. Well, I don't mind keeping an absolutist position on constitutionalism. I don't have a flexible view of the U.S. Constitution. It's the law. It's the supreme law of the land. Joe Biden is not the supreme law of the land. Yeah, he's the commander-in-chief, the executive, but they're supposed to have checks and balances by the legislative and the judicial branches and the American people as well. So, the president cannot exist in a vacuum where he gets to become or as the Fox News guy who got fired said, Joseph R. Biden, is a wannabe dictator. Thing is, he doesn't really have much time to dictate. He's almost 81 years old, so he's trying to dictate real quick. But he really can't dictate anything because he's just getting too damn old. He can but he can't dictate. It's to that particular time, right? Eggs is more low. A dictator or wannabe dictator that cannot dictate. But he's trying with his younger puppets and cronies so hard to dictate and try to control everything. All right. She deserves some good eggs this morning because, well, she's got a leg problem and we're going to get the doggy aspirin for later. And sometimes, okay. Sometimes on the holidays, a party does not occur. All right. So, in particularly, some people really think that All Hallows Eve, Halloween, is an important holiday, and others think that it is a holiday only for children. And so we will respond if attacks don't stop. All right. In other words, we're going to come kick your ass if you fuck with us. Ooh. Well, that's nice and clear.
If this doesn't stop, then we will respond. And so
okay. If he means the attacks by the Arab world against American bases in Iraq, is what he's saying. He's saying if these attacks don't stop, then our enemies are going to stop because they're going to be dead. So that's what he's saying right there. So if these attacks don't stop on American forces, We're gonna clean your clocks. In other words, that's fair. People rape, kidnap, torture, parade around, behead 1,400 of your people. How do you think the response is going to be from your country, from your leaders? It's just not going to be. It's not going to be a good one. It's not going to be something fantastic. I know some people say, well, innocent civilians are being killed. Well, the people that started war, well, they should be punished. I don't believe that the civilians should be killed. But non-defiance is still compliance in a lot of ways. Doing nothing is not innocence, as some people probably think. I know that there's a lot of people that think that doing nothing is resistance. In a way, I mean, doing nothing could be resistance, right? Like, yeah. Like, not going to Vietnam, for instance. You know, this war is pointless. It's unjust. And then they protest and they don't go. Even if they're drafted, but they get put in jail because isn't that like a felony? Not reporting for duty if you're able-bodied? I think that's a felony. Yeah. A federal offense, isn't it? So like if the United States is under attack and you're able-bodied, well, you don't report for duty, right? You get drafted, get the draft card. Yeah. I know, I've seen the Gen Z TikToks where they say we're not going to war. Oh yeah, I've seen that. We're not going to do any war. We'll see. Well, should we some folks think freedom is free and that it's not paved with blood. So yeah, I'm a absolutist constitutionalist. The Bill of Rights. Yeah. I'm not like some Joe Biden liberal who thinks that the Bill of Rights and the constitutional amendments, the amendments to the Constitution can be changed whenever you feel like it. I don't think that's that way at all. So the Bill of Rights is absolute: the right to freedom of speech, the right to religion, the right to assemble, to petition the government, and the right to a free press. Those are not negotiable rights. They're not. You can't just alter them whenever a government or corporations feel like it, or the elites, or the wealthy, or the rich men north of Richmond feel like it. Those are not negotiable. Those are inalienable rights that every American citizen has for almost the 250-year history of the United States. So those are not interchangeable. They're not negotiable. They're not changeable at the whim of a particular political party or a corrupt bastard like sleepy old corrupt Biden, some greasy politician. They're not up for negotiation or the right to bear arms, the Second Amendment of the Constitution, or really any of the others. So I know what the old liberals are going to say. Well, that was written almost 250 years ago. Stuff has changed, so we can just take away rights and we can just do whatever the fuck we want. So you have this bizarre situation in which older people are telling you, pardon me, maybe I did prepare a little bit too much. So in liberal la la land, in liberal Democrat la la land, one can change laws whenever they feel like it. You can undo amendments to the Constitution whenever you feel like it. You can do whatever. You can execute executive orders whenever you feel like it to change anything you want to. Because, well, in the eyes of the government, they are the law. Because they make them and they sign them into law. So they make their own laws for themselves. Elites do. So you have a bunch of sleazy old crooked politicians like the Clintons and the Bidens and the Obamas. They tend to make laws and try to pass laws that benefit themselves and not all of the American people. So I think that's the main beef that the American people have, is that they realize that the system is rigged to benefit only a few elites and not the majority. So, of course, the majority is going to respond by what? Resistance, voting for Donald Trump, voting for non-establishment candidates. They'll resist as much as they are capable of doing. So the same people that are telling you that the Constitution can be changed, or the U.S. Bill of Rights, are the same people that are trying to tell us that Californian Mexican food is better than Texas Mexican food, or that Michigan cheeseburgers are better than Texas ones, or that Michigan barbecue is better than Texas barbecue. Maybe Kansas City, but so the elites think that they can make the government just work for them and not work for all of 333 million American citizens plus. But a lot of the American citizens just tend to disagree about that. So I guess that is an internal sticking point, as it were. What they would call a point of contention, right? There's no equal justice. There's no real equality in the sense of law. Justice is not blind. So justice applies to some. Citizens are punished more harshly. And then Hunter Biden, son of a president, he gets a different set of rules, you know. So, and that's what they call corruption. That's what they call evil. That's wrong. Special law treatment should not be based on money, privilege, power, or status in a society, but it is. But so, you know, that's a massive problem. Whoa. Online posts threaten to blah blah Jews at Cornell University. Your friend went there, didn't he? Your old friend, your ex-friend. Yeah. I don't have ex-girlfriends, but I have plenty of ex-friends. But that's actually by design. I actually enjoy it. It really it's so fun not doing the expectations of others that it becomes a joy at some point. Being a resistance rebel becomes something that you revel in. Yeah. But at least I didn't break any young girls' hearts, like poor Michael Jackson. Billie Jean. Yeah, you never went through a messy divorce with anyone. Yeah. You never did you break any girls' hearts by just not stepping up to the plate and firing one off, you know, hitting the ball on the playing field? Maybe, but they move on. There's always other fish in the sea, right? Other sperm in the firmament. So it's if they were upset about that, that was a long time ago. So that's, you know, water under the bridge, as they say. But all right. Oh, anti-Semitism. Oh, okay. Oh, that's the guy who opened the border to 8 million illegals to try to steal votes for the 2024 election. Yeah. 8 million illegal aliens from all kinds of third world countries, all kinds of illegal aliens from all over the place. And the point of the Biden-Harris administration and the corrupt regime here of this people that have seized control of our government through using a Chinese plague the point of the 8 million illegal aliens is to, of course, they're going to give them amnesty and give them green cards like they had been here the whole time, and then vote Democrat in the next election. It's obvious what they've been planning this whole time. They're like, well, we're not sure. We could rig this bad boy. You know, we think people are going to be pissed by the time the 2024 election comes around because of the economy and our tyrannical leadership. We think there's going to be a huge resistance against us, a massive one, even bigger than 2016, even bigger than 2020. And so they're kind of panicking. So they had to bring in the 8 million foreign illegal immigrants. So that's by design. I think sometimes there was reports that they were flying them in the night, flying them at nighttime to replace us, to rig our next election. That's what they're after. Yeah, they're afraid they're going to lose the next one, which they should be afraid. They should be definitely. I know they are concerned, but they're going to act like they're not panicked, but they are panicked. So, because they know they're not probably going to win the next election, even with their illegal, unconstitutional, dirty tricks and crookedness that they always pull around election time. So we'll see. We'll see who wins this time. The American people or the corrupt DC and Wall Street swamps of eternal corruption and hell. I always bet on the American people, though. I always bet on the red pills. So that's me. Other people might bet on other people. But anyways, happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. God bless. Best of success. MAGA. Make America great again. 4 more in 2024. That's, why am I putting my money on that? Well, you know, Trump's made me money before. A lot of people said Hillary Clinton was going to win the 2016 election. Well, I got my $20. 2020, that was a weird election because of the Chinese plague. We don't have a Chinese plague this time, so maybe this will be like, I can't say that there'll be a normal American election ever again, but let's say maybe things will never go back to the way they were in the past, where things seemed normal, where people felt that they were normal, where people had, I wouldn't say trust in the U.S. government. I wouldn't. That's a strong word. Trust means total and complete trust and faith in the system and the institutions of that system. Okay, total, complete. It's like kind of a ignorance is bliss sort of matrix type blue pill kind of attitude. So let's say there was a time when people could generally trust U.S. elections, that they were held fairly and that they were accountable to a process of democracy. And there was a time when people felt that the system was working in their benefit instead of against them. So let's say that there was a time period that most Americans felt that way, that the system was working for them instead of against them. Unlike the uneasiness and unrest of today, which is totally different vibe to it, where it seems like the elites and those in power are directly attacking us from the inside out. And so that is very different from, I don't know, my dad's and my grandfather's America and my previous predecessors' America. So those are my family and previous generations of American citizens. Unfortunately, I don't know, could there be trust in government institutions ever again? If they decided to work for the American people and not for themselves exclusively, maybe there could be a road back to that bridge being repaired. But for now, it is a shattered bridge, and no one believes that they'll be able to physically cross it. At this point, it seems beyond repair. And so, doing a little pacing around kind of increased the heat a little bit, huh? Oh yeah. Got the chill out of it. So, yeah, I have faith that the American people will do their diligence and resist the corruption and vote correctly this next election. And Donald John Trump, if he's not taken down by the federales. It's illegal to persecute your political rivals. Like, that's a third world country type of thing. So we'll know if who's really in control in this next election. And we'll know that definitively this time. Who is just, if the Empire struck back and Darth Vader and Dark Brandon are in control and there's nothing we can fucking do about it, and there's no way to resist, then we'll know if resistance is futile or not. It'll be the best litmus test is this next election. And so we'll see what happens. I hope Americans make the right choice. I hope they make the choice for America. And if they don't, well, then they make the choice for empirical dictatorship. So it is pretty much the time for choosing good or evil. And so I tend to think that American citizens will make the right choice. I'm just, I don't know. I'm a dreamer, optimist. They may not make the best choice, though. So collectively speaking. But, well, anyways, happy Halloween. God bless and best of success. MAGA for more in 2024. Peace.